The 1990 United Kingdom 5 pence coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a small yet historically significant piece of British numismatic history, representing a transitional period in the evolution of British coinage during the late 20th century. The obverse of the coin bears the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Makloff, a sculptor whose effigy of the monarch was introduced in 1985 and remained in use on British coins until 1997. This portrait shows the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, an ornate crown encrusted with diamonds, pearls, and precious stones that she traditionally wears to and from the state opening of Parliament. Around her image appears the Latin legend, Elizabeth II d. Ge Reg Ef d. 1990, an abbreviation of Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This long-standing inscription emphasizes the monarch's constitutional and religious roles, as well as the enduring link between the British Crown and the Church of England. The reverse design of the 1995 pence coin was created by Christopher Ironside, one of Britain's most prominent coin designers of the post-decimalisation era. It depicts the badge of Scotland, specifically a thistle royally crowned, symbolizing the union of Scotland within the United Kingdom. The thistle, a national emblem of Scotland for centuries, has been associated with endurance, pride, and defense, often representing the Scottish motto, Nemo me impune lacessit, meaning, no one provokes me with impunity. This reverse design is encircled by the denomination inscription 5 pence, written in capital letters, conveying the coin's face value in plain and clear English rather than numerically. This traditional design carried forward the artistic continuity of the smaller denominations following the UK's decimalisation in 1971, when the old shilling system, based on pounds, shillings, and pence, was replaced by the modern decimal system of 100 pence to a pound. The 1995 pence coin holds particular importance because it was part of the final year of issue for the original larger-sized 5 pence coin, which had been introduced in 1968, 3 years before the full decimal currency system was officially launched in 1971. This version of the coin measured 23.59 millimeters in diameter and weighed 5.65 grams, being composed of cupronickel, a mixture of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a bright, silvery appearance. However, due to its relatively large size compared to its low value, it was decided that the coin should be reduced in size to make it more practical for circulation. Thus, in 1990, the Royal Mint produced the last large-size 5 pence coins for general circulation, before introducing a smaller version later that same year, measuring only 18.00 millimeters in diameter and weighing 3.25 grams. Therefore, 1990 represents a turning point in the series, as both the old large and the new small versions were produced during this transitional period, with the smaller one officially entering circulation on June 27, 1990. From a historical and economic perspective, the 1990 coin reflects the broader economic climate of the United Kingdom at the end of the 1980s and the dawn of the 1990s. The country was under the government of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, whose tenure was marked by economic liberalization, privatization, and efforts to control inflation. The redesign and resizing of coins like the 5 pence reflected practical considerations such as rising metal costs, vending machine compatibility, and the modernization of Britain's currency system. The introduction of the smaller 5 pence coin was part of a broader Royal Mint initiative to make the nation's coinage more efficient and convenient for everyday use, especially as older, larger coins had become cumbersome in circulation. In numismatic terms, the 1995 pence coin does not carry significant rarity, as millions were minted for circulation. However, its historical status as the final year of the large 5 pence coin grants it a certain collectible value among enthusiasts of modern British decimal coinage. Collectors often seek to include it in sets illustrating the transition between the old and new sizes. The coin's pristine examples in brilliant, uncirculated or proof condition, especially those struck at the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, Wales, are more valuable to collectors and often appear in annual proof sets or commemorative presentations. From a symbolic viewpoint, The coin embodies a fascinating moment in British history where design tradition met technological modernity. The retention of Ironside's thistle design on both the large and small versions underscores the United Kingdom's respect for continuity and symbolism, even as the coin's physical form changed. Additionally, the Maklauf portrait of the Queen, serene, regal, and dignified, captures the stability of her reign, reflecting the monarchy's enduring place in British life amid changing times. Over the years, the coin's materials and design would evolve again, with the 2011 issue changing its metal composition from cupronickel to nickel-plated steel due to cost efficiency, yet the essence of the 5 pence's national imagery has remained constant. In conclusion, the 1995 pence coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II represents more than just a small denomination. It encapsulates a moment of transition in British numismatic history, combining artistic craftsmanship, national symbolism, and practical adaptation to the needs of a modern economy. It stands as a token of the late 20th century's monetary evolution, bridging the gap between the larger, post-decimal coins of the 1970s and 1980s and the more compact, efficient coinage that defines modern British currency. For collectors and historians alike, it remains a tangible reminder of Britain's balance between tradition and progress, monarchy and modernization, and art and function within the everyday currency of the realm. Next top. The 1992 5 pence coin of the United Kingdom featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a fascinating piece of modern British numismatic history that reflects a pivotal transition in the nation's coinage system. Introduced following a major reform of the coinage sizes in the early 1990s, the 1992 5 pence coin marked the first year of issue for the smaller-sized version of this denomination, replacing the larger coin that had been in circulation since decimalization in 1968. The new coin was introduced as part of a gradual move to reduce the size and weight of Britain's circulating coins for reasons of convenience, cost efficiency, and modernization. The earlier large 5 pence coin, identical in size to the pre-decimal 1 shilling piece, was considered cumbersome, so the 1992 version heralded a smaller, lighter, and more practical design better suited to modern life and coin-handling machinery. Struck in cupronickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, the coin has a diameter of 18.0 millimeters, a thickness of 1.7 millimeters, and a weight of 3.25 grams, making it notably smaller and easier to carry than its predecessor. The obverse of the coin features the familiar and distinguished portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklauf, which had been introduced in 1985 and was used until 1997. In this effigy, the Queen is shown wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown often worn during the state opening of Parliament. The portrait is more stylized and regal than earlier versions, emphasizing the dignity and maturity of the monarch. Surrounding the portrait is the legend, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. E.F.D. 1992, which abbreviates the Latin phrase De Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This traditional inscription connects the coin to centuries of royal and religious heritage in Britain. The effigy's refined detail, particularly the lifelike rendering of the Queen's features and the delicate pattern of the diadem, reflects Maklauf's intent to portray Her Majesty with grace and timelessness, while also adapting well to modern minting technology. The reverse of the 1992 5 pence coin bears a design by Christopher Ironside, one of the most respected British coin designers of the 20th century, who also designed the reverse motifs for most of the original decimal coins introduced in 1971. The reverse features a heraldic badge of Scotland, a thistle royally crowned, which symbolizes both the Scottish heritage within the United Kingdom and the unity of the realms under one crown. The thistle, a plant long associated with Scottish resilience and strength, stands upright and detailed, with the intricate texture of its leaves and spines captured beautifully. The crown above the thistle is the crown of St. Edward, one of the most sacred and historic symbols of the British monarchy, emphasizing the sovereign's role over all parts of the United Kingdom. Surrounding the design is the denomination, 5 pence, positioned clearly and simply to enhance legibility. This reverse design is notable for its elegant minimalism and heraldic power. It communicates the strength and continuity of the British state while celebrating its cultural diversity. In historical context, 1992 was a year of considerable significance for the British Mint and the currency system. The Royal Mint, then located in Lantercent, South Wales, oversaw the massive logistical effort of recalling the old large 5 pence coins and issuing millions of the new smaller coins into circulation. This reform was part of a broader modernization program that would later include the reduction in size of the 10 pence coin in 1992 as well, aiming to make British coinage more practical and efficient for both public use and vending machines. The smaller 5 pence coin retained the same metallic composition and design as its larger predecessor but presented it in a more compact and contemporary form. The transition was generally well received, though it required a short period of adjustment for the public as older coins were withdrawn. From a numismatic standpoint, the 1992 5 pence coin holds special importance as the first year of the small size issue, making it a milestone in the evolution of British coinage. It was struck for general circulation and also included in collector sets, and while it is not particularly rare, its historical context enhances its appeal among collectors. Millions of examples were minted for everyday use, but coins preserved in uncirculated or proof condition can command greater interest, especially those housed in official royal mint sets. The proof versions, struck with specially polished dies and blanks, display a mirror-like finish and sharper detail, making them prized pieces for enthusiasts of modern British currency. Beyond its physical attributes, the 1992 5 pence coin also symbolizes the continuity of monarchy and tradition through changing times. As Britain entered the last decade of the 20th century, it faced economic shifts, political challenges, and technological advancements, yet the stability of its coinage and the enduring image of Queen Elizabeth II provided a tangible sense of national identity. Each coin, though small in denomination, carried with it centuries of heraldry, craftsmanship, and symbolism, uniting artistry with practicality. The depiction of the thistle crown serves as a reminder of the unity of the kingdom, while the Queen's effigy reaffirms constitutional continuity in a rapidly evolving world. In summary, the 1992 Elizabeth II 5 pence coin is more than just a minor denomination. It is a marker of transition, modernity, and enduring tradition within British numismatic history. With its refined Mackloff portrait, Ironside's dignified thistle design, and its role in ushering in a new, smaller generation of British coinage, this coin embodies the blend of heritage and progress that characterizes the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. It remains a popular collectible today, not for its monetary value, but for its symbolic significance as a milestone in the long and evolving story of Britain's coins next hop. The 5 pence coin of 2001 featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a small yet historically significant piece of British currency that reflects not only the evolution of modern British coinage, but also the enduring legacy of the monarchy and the royal mint's craftsmanship. The coin's obverse bears the portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley, whose initials IRB can be seen just below the Queen's neck. This portrait, introduced in 1998, was notable for its realistic depiction of the Queen, showing her wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a gift from Queen Mary upon Elizabeth's marriage in 1947. Unlike previous portraits that soften the Queen's image, Rank Broadley's design portrayed her with mature dignity, reflecting both her longevity and continued service to the nation at the dawn of the new millennium. The surrounding inscription reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 2001, which stands for Elizabeth II Dei Grazia Regina Fidei Defensor, Latin for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This traditional phrase connects the coin to centuries of British constitutional and religious heritage, tracing back to titles first used by monarchs in the early modern period. The reverse side of the 2001 5 pence coin features a design created by Christopher Ironside, which had been used on the denomination since its introduction in 1968. It displays a finely detailed heraldic emblem of the crown thistle, the national flower of Scotland, symbolizing unity within the United Kingdom. The thistle's design is topped by the royal crown, a reminder of Scotland's historic ties to the British monarchy since the union of the crowns in 1603. The word 5 pence appears along the upper perimeter of the coin, complementing the elegant symmetry of the thistle's design. Although the design remained consistent from 1968 through 2008, it gained new meaning as the smaller, post-1990 version of the coin became a familiar item in everyday circulation. The coin's metallic composition is cupronickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, and its diameter is 18.0 millimeters, weighing 3.25 grams, with a milled edge to deter clipping and counterfeiting. The 2001 issue belongs to the modern small-sized 5 pence coins that were introduced in June 1990 when the Royal Mint reduced the size of the coinage to make them more convenient for public use and vending machines. This smaller 5 pence replaced the original large version that had circulated since decimalisation in 1968. The Royal Mint, located in Llantrisant, South Wales, produced the 2001 coins in significant numbers for general circulation, ensuring that they were a common yet enduring part of the British pocket change landscape during the early 21st century. The smaller 5 pence's dimensions closely mirrored those of the older 6 pence coin, which was withdrawn in 1980, creating a nostalgic connection between pre-decimal and modern coinage. In terms of historical context, the year 2001 was a significant period in British history. The United Kingdom was under the leadership of Prime Minister Tony Blair, and Queen Elizabeth II had been on the throne for nearly half a century, preparing for her Golden Jubilee the following year. The Royal Mint continued to modernize its coin production with advanced technology, ensuring consistency in weight and design while maintaining traditional artistic excellence. The 2001 5 pence circulated widely across the UK, serving everyday purposes from small purchases to vending machine transactions, and it symbolized the stability and familiarity of the British monetary system in a time of global change. From a numismatic perspective, the 2001 5 pence is not particularly rare, but it holds value to collectors for its representation of the rank broadly portrait era and its role within the transition period before the 2008 redesign of all UK coin reverses under Matthew Dent's heraldic shield motif. Collectors appreciate this coin for its fine craftsmanship, clean lettering, and the precision of its milled edge. Circulated examples are easily found in change or bulk coin lots, while uncirculated or proof specimens, often found in brilliant uncirculated (BU) sets issued by the Royal Mint, carry higher appeal for numismatists. Symbolically, the coin embodies the unity of the British Isles, the endurance of monarchy, and the continuity of modern British design tradition. Despite its small size and low face value, it carries immense historical resonance, reflecting the monarchy's role in everyday life and the British people's connection to centuries of coinage history. Each 2001 5 pence coin, though often overlooked in daily transactions, serves as a tangible link to a nation's heritage, where art, economy, and royal symbolism intertwine on a tiny yet timeless piece of metal.